Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone is well. Gaz, are you here? Are you on mute? I think you're on mute.
Yay! Ever since I've got this chair, I've wanted to do that. Just that spin round. I can spin round in this room, which is something that I enjoy doing. So
you look like you've got a lot of space there to do so.
The Lords.
Oh man. Anyway, brilliant. I hope you're doing well. Welcome everybody to Fresh Friday. This is a place where, of course, you get the freshest knowledge on all things marketing, branding, and digital stuff. And we want to make sure that we bring you some of the latest greats and tips and bring you some of the most exclusive guests to share some of that knowledge of everyone. And today we have a treat for all of you. It's going to be an awesome one.
It's a big one. It's a big one, mate. And we've hardly even had chance to speak to the guest. We usually have a little bit of a warm-up chat beforehand, but we've literally jumped straight in. So I'm as excited as everybody else watching. And I know we've got a load of people in chat. And it's great that everyone's joining us. We've got Big Phil, Texasaurus Rex, we've got Damien Reed, Games Guru, Scott Wignall. We've got loads of people up in here. Got people on Facebook as well. Mate, yeah. I'm pumped for this one. I'm very pumped for this one. And you should be too.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So we are live on Facebook, Twitch, not Pinterest, Periscope or Twitter. So and YouTube as well. So if you're joining us over there, that's great. So yeah, it's going to be a really good one. But today we're here to talk all about community. It's something that we're big fans of at Fresh Movement, and we know the power of community and what they can do. And I think the guest that we've got is almost the perfect person for this as well. So it's going to be a pretty good one. But Gaz, before we jump into the guest, what are you drinking on this Fresh Friday?
Well, I did turn around with this in my hand, which was a clue.
What is that? Looks like a grenade. Oh, it's a sheep.
Yeah. I do throw a few grenades in my life, only theoretically. But it's a Black Sheep, and this was given to me by my sister. And it is here to represent the drink that I've got. So I have got a Black Sheep Amber Ale from Yorkshire. Now, if anybody knows anything about our guest, maybe they won't know this information, actually. He may not agree with my choice of ale because there's a popular ale from where he's from, and it's definitely not from Yorkshire. So, you know, I'm always one to chorve our guest. This wasn't done intentionally, by the way, so I do apologise, Xbox Pope. But I'm gonna try something which I'm sure you might not agree with, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
You're pouring it into a glass. What's that about?
Well, it's a big bottle, and I don't want to tip it everywhere. You know what I'm like. I'm a bit clumsy.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your drink, mate. The Black Sheep.
And it's good. It's good. Is there any Black Sheep fans out there? That's what I want to know. Yeah, it's nice. It's good.
Good. Happy days.
Thumbs up from me. 5 G stars out of
G stars.
5.
Some sort of new thing. We have got a lot of people in chat, so welcome.
Yeah, we have.
Please make sure to share the stream out. We want to get our guest as much exposure as possible. Not that he needs it, because he is pretty much a celebrity.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of people here to check him out. So we've got, as you mentioned a minute ago, Games Guru, Big Phil, Damien, everyone's here. So thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully this is going to be we've got Marvick on Facebook as well. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. All the folks.
Nice
all
to
the
see
folks.
you, mate. We've got Ian Straddins, welcome, and we've also got Lisa as well, who's with us, and Adam Groves, welcome. I've got to pull somebody up on a comment before we jump in, because Games Guru has tried shaming me for drinking a beer at this time. Now, I don't know how often you have joined Fresh Fridays, but we have drank earlier than this, so don't be shocked. And I've drank stronger as well. I've gone quite, I've been nice to myself and my kidneys today. So we think it's drink o'clock, and it's only a beer, isn't it? So Games Guru, join us.
Shame on
Or
you
drink some
if you're
beer.
not drinking.
Yeah. So I'm going to
Exactly.
retort. But yeah, I'm excited for today. I think the subject as well about community, this gentleman has done it, let's say the right way. Do you know what I mean? We had a quick chat around this before, and he is a designer, I suppose. So I'm kind of gutted that I'm not in your seat this week, Liam, because I could nerd out about design. But obviously, we're talking about community. And I think the way he's built community as a fan, as a pure fan, is what it's all about.
Yeah.
And anybody out there who wants to kind of do that, or even learn from somebody who's created so much fan stuff, fan artwork, we've been calling the daddy of fan art, aren't we, this week? So
Yeah, you have, most certainly. It did make me laugh.
there's a lot to be learned. There's a lot to be learned. So I hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Right, well, I'm going to do the treacherous zoom, the serious cam. I need like some sort of voiceover for this as well,
I can do that if you want.
Yeah, maybe. You can do that. Gaz will be in chat as well, so if you've got any questions, chuck them in there, and then we'll ask them to our guest in a sec at the end. So yeah, let's jump in. So, ladies and gentlemen, on today's Fresh Friday... Oh, there it was.
Let me zoom into his face. I'll leave you now.
Yeah, it's okay. So today's guest is pretty much a celebrity, especially in the world of gaming. This person has built a community from the ground up, and as Gaz said, completely the right way. No paid promotion, no fake numbers. This is all true fandom. And today, we are very, very excited to have in the studio the one and only Xbox Pope. How are you doing?
You okay?
Yeah, mate. Welcome to Fresh Friday. How is everything going?
It's going good. I mean, it's my 10th year anniversary today, so
Yeah, I heard.
I'm sort of spending it with you guys.
Absolutely honoured. Absolutely honoured. So thank you so much for joining us. And I know there's a lot of people in chat who are very excited to meet you. I know we were supposed to meet a long time ago, and our paths never crossed, did they?
Exactly.
Because I did end up leaving. But here we are.
Honestly, it wasn't me telling Phil,
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. So, lots of people in chat excited to see you, because I think as well, you've been a little bit elusive in a way, haven't you? Like, you've got Xbox Pope as like the brand, but I don't think many people have actually seen the... We need to prove that you're Xbox Pope, because we could have just got a random person and said, this is the Pope.
There's a couple of controllers behind us if you want to see there.
Yeah.
One's an Xbox Pope one.
Have you got an Xbox Pope controller?
Yeah.
Can we see it?
Yeah.
Go,
I'll have to get up a minute.
Yeah, do it. Wow, look at this. Straight in. We need proof. This is proof. This is the Xbox. Oh, I'm already liking the look of this. Look at that. Hang on, Pope. I've got you. Boom. Look at that.
Inside.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, it's actually on display. Sorry.
It's empty. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful
Maybe
stuff.
Backwards, it is for me.
Yeah, it's for you. Yeah, it's for you. That is amazing. So, Xbox Pope, do you want to introduce yourself to the people that may not know you? Of course, a lot of the community, a lot of Fresh Free Movements community know who you are. Do you want to give yourself an introduction to what you do and a little bit about yourself?
It's kind of like a funny one, because obviously the name in the first instance, Xbox Pope, was kind of given to us by the community. And I used to always think, do I really like it? Shall I keep it? And I often thought about changing it, but it's just got that hold on people,
Mm-hmm.
And obviously people shorten it, so they just call us the Pope, but it's that it's just having that identity with a brand that everyone sort of kind of loves, and the person. and they just put kind of two and two together and just sort of, you know, think he's some kind of like legend, you know, which to me is kind of like very strange, but you know, it's rewarding at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, he is a fun character. He's a bit of a cheeky character, and mainly he does lots of fan art.
It is so good. It's so good. And the thing is as well, Xbox Pope, how did this name even become a thing? Like what happened there?
Well, I think what happened was is I was back. Well, this all first began kind of like one guy asking us, "Can I do a Gears controller?" And looking back at it, it's almost like, you know, like your old school art projects. You know, you look back and you go, like, how shit is that? You know. And but at the time it was great. I was like, wow, this is cool. And then it was somebody else asked, can I have one? You know, and it just sort of spiraled out of control. So because I was doing so much sort of kindness, let's say, for people just call us, wow, he's like the Xbox Pope, isn't he? You know, so I kind of inherited the name. And I quickly changed my Twitter handle from what I was before known as, you know, and captured it really.
That's so good. So it's almost been given to you by the community. That's pretty amazing stuff. By the way, one thing I have forgotten to ask you, what are you drinking?
Well, it does look like Coke, and I have been a bit thirsty because it's warm in here, but it is actually whiskey and Coke.
Don't let the side down. Don't let the side down. That is perfect.
The thing is, being from Newcastle, you see, and going back to the Black Sheep, obviously we're known for the brown ale, really.
Yeah.
But I can't actually drink ale.
Oh.
No, I'm allergic to it, so I have to go straight onto the spirits. So
same as me. I'm not allergic, but I feel your pain when it comes to the expense. I'm a bit of a spirits dude myself, so.
But the thing is, I could probably drink a few people under the table because, you know, they're just warming up on a few pints and I'm straight onto the spirits, like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so holy water.
Exactly. That's definitely the right place to be, no doubt about it. So let's jump into some of the questions, because I know I'm super interested in your history and your community. Like, I think I stumbled across your work probably 2.5 years ago, something like that. And I can remember having that moment of going, who the hell is this dude? He's like made this beautiful console or this beautiful controller. And like, you must get this a lot. Like, people must say, like, tagging like your Phil Spencers, your Major Nelsons, your whoever, and say, give this guy a job. That must happen frequently, right?
Yeah, constantly.
It's a great place to be.
Funny. It was funny because I was speaking with Phil last night, and it was like, you know, like me and Phil have known each other quite a few years, and I've known like quite a lot of the executives at Xbox for many years, you know, and we do actually talk behind the scenes, you know, so everyone's aware of what's going on, you know, everyone knows there's the demands out there for, you know, Pope's work, but what people need to remember also is I kind of deliberately make it impossible to make. And there's kind of two reasons why I do that. As one is, unfortunately, a lot of people sort of copy my work and get it produced, you know. And that's not its meaning behind it, you know. The meaning behind the console art is to tell a story, or it's to, let's say, if someone's having a really bad day, and that, you know, I am aware, I do see things happening in the social media world. So I'll produce some crazy art, send it off, and next thing I'm getting this message from, you know, a person saying, wow, like, you know, like I was having a really, really bad day. You've done that. And it's made us like the most it's just made us feel so special, and I'm so happy. And I think I've always said to people, I don't make any money from what I do. I don't charge people. I don't ask for people for anything, because a cost for a smile should be free anyway. And if people can't believe, and I think I tried to illustrate it with you the other day, was how fast this process is. Like I literally spend only 30 minutes per idea, because what people need to know is they're not meant to be perfect. They're not meant to have. They're just meant to tell a story within 30 minutes, right or wrong. And sometimes, I'll go deep into someone's history, not as a stalker, but just to pick up some little hidden gems that I kind of then stick into the art. And it's funny because only they see them, you see, because it relates to them. And that's why I get the nice messages back saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe you've done this," because it's just made me cry, And I was like, it's not meant to make you cry, it's meant to make you smile.
Yeah.
But it's because it's got them hidden gems in there, you see, that only they can see. So it's rewarding in that way,
It's fascinating to know that you have an impact on so many people like that, because it's so, like, we see this a lot when some of our clients like create social content. They want everything to be perfect, and they waste so much time getting it so perfect when actually the content that you're creating in your head, it could be. I know we had a conversation because you sent me the Spider-Man one you did earlier this week before you sent it out, and you're like, "This is it. That's 30 minutes." And then you spent, I think, 15 minutes more on it or so. Like, "Oh, I'd have changed this thing." So
I kind of broke the rules, you see.
And that's the thing. Like, and if that's the amazing thing. Like, all of these people love your work, and you're spending 30 minutes per console. Like, your 30 minutes could do so much for someone in your community, right?
Exactly, and obviously it inherits a lot of likes and retweets, and going back to the community thing, I mean, I've had to learn. It's always nice when you get great feedback, but you obviously see the bad feedback as well. And I've had to learn to take that on the chin. I think I know I'm probably dipping into your questions here.
No, it's fine.
The way you've got to look at design, because I mean, I've been designing for 25 years. I've designed for some of the biggest names in the world. In my day job. So this is just me having relaxed time, This is just pure fun for me, but it has a meaning behind it as well, which is going back to the community thing, which is, you're a small YouTuber, you're a small streamer. It's my job to make people aware, well, who is this person, like, because I've just spent an hour in the stream, and this guy's pretty cool, like, he's and I've checked him out again, and I thought, hang on a minute, he's doing like 15-hour days, he's working so hard, and here's me just doing some fun, or just so people are aware of who this person is, because if I just put in a tweet, "Oh, this person's cool, go and check him out," it'll probably get ignored. So
get lost in the way.
At least with the art, it's got some kind of attachment to that person, So it's kind of like a kill two birds with one stone type response that I do,
Yeah, it's interesting because I've seen you jump into some people on Twitch, like some unknown streamers, and do that. And I've seen a lot of consoles that you put out into the community, and of course, I think you also introduce a lot of people to these unknown entities that might have talent and might, have something there, and they're not getting the exposure they need, and you're almost giving them a platform, but it's not coming from them, because I think everyone can get up on a pedestal and shout how great they are, and people will either listen or not.
Yeah.
But when it comes from someone else, it means something completely different, right?
Exactly, and I think as well, there's a certain handful of, like, let's say streamers or YouTube people who, it's not their job to go and boast how cool they are, but I can see how good they actually are. And what I'll do is I'll kind of like you say, link people who maybe are just beginning and just go, like, just spend a week checking out this streamer, learn from them, ask them questions, make sure, have you got the right equipment, the right setup, because we'll all start from nothing at the end of the day, and it takes time to build up a brand. It takes time to build up a community. I mean, I think, what am I, 6 years on Twitter? And I mean, last night I've managed to get on the Xbox dashboard.
That's unreal.
I mean, like to me, that, a lot of people say you should be working for Microsoft or Xbox, and I kind of do in my own little world, but not. It's just not officially. But to have that on the background of every Xbox console, that's an achievement, like, earned, and I didn't just do that by posting a couple of tweets here or trying to be the big person that some people might have with their egos. I'm still always going to be the down to earth guy who just is just out there to make people smile.
So in terms of, like you said, like, it's not just about posts and stuff. Like, you've been doing this for a long time. There's a lot of hard graft. You're putting in so many hours for something you're passionate about. What advice would you give to someone who's almost looking to build a community? Because I think, watching right now, I can see in chat that there's a few streamers I know from Twitch. There's a few people that are trying to build communities. What sort of advice would you give them on how to build a community?
I think because people automatically think, right, I've got the setup, I've got my Twitch channel, I've maybe created a brand. I mean, I think I've had about 8 different logos, till I finally found the logo I feel sort of describes me, because what you've got to remember is, maybe sometime in the future you're going to go to conventions, you're going to go to places that where you're trying to increase your audience, so brand identity is super important. And I think once you've got that, and then you've got a few followers, just treat everyone with a bit of respect. I think I sort of kind of always go off a quote. It's like, it's not about being noticed, it's about being remembered. And I think that's what Xbox Pubs developed, is the fact, even when, like you say, I jump in a stream, it's like, oh my god, the Xbox Pubs here, like, or if I'm speaking to, like, the Xbox guys, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm speaking to the Xbox Pub, and I think if you want that, and you want that same feeling, you've just got to work hard at it, and don't expect it overnight, because it's just not going to happen. You've got some very big people like Ninja and stuff like that, but again, they've all had to start from the bottom. And I think just being aware of what's around you, so tagging or friending with people who are in the industry already, and they've already got, like, a good sort of following. And it's not to kind of, like, poach their followers, it's just to learn, like, oh well, actually, these people are genuine, right, like, really cool people, and that's how I would sort of tell people to grow.
It's so true, because I think people expect it overnight. Like, they think they can just turn on, get in, and you see a lot of people give up. You see a lot of people just give it a go. They say they're going to do it. They then do it for a week, get 1 follower, 1 like on a post, that type of thing, and then they just go, I can't do it. But as you
Yeah.
said, we all started there. You started there, no doubt, as well. Like, you're probably putting out stuff
I
and
think,
weren't even being seen.
I mean, like I say, it's not to discriminate against people or anything, but what people are going to remember is people like. I'm not saying that you're old, Liam, but
Oh God.
you've come from an industry the same as me back in the days where there was no social media, there was no. I'm not saying going back as far as chalk and board, but but we've had to work hard to do something, and like you say, I think the nowadays people, the Z-list stars and stuff, they do expect it already given to them, and I think it's our job as, let's say, old school sort of gamers or educators to sort of to do channels like this or streams, or even the guys who do the sort of technical streams on how to do things. It's just to give them a little jolt, like, this took me a long time to do. This is definitely not a 5-minute thing, like,
of course. We've got
and I think it might sort of comfort them a bit.
Definitely. I think it's everyone's attention span is a little bit shorter the longer we go into things and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely valid. We've got a couple of questions in chat. I'm just going to run through a couple. Lee Daly, I'm not sure if you know Lee Daly, but he was he was a game master at Microsoft, and you did a console for the Game Master. He goes, that was such an amazing console, made him smile. We got Marvick says, love the down-to-earth approach, and also he said he's learning a lot about it's not being known instead of being remembered. So Pope, even though it's not through your art, you're inspiring people as we speak.
Exactly.
It's great.
And it could just be something as small as, like how I do stuff to be remembered is to make people smile. So that's kind of like my, that's the thing that holds me together. So I could, print it out, stick it on the wall, and every time you're doing something, just keep looking at the quote. Quotes are pretty special, if you can find the quote that suits you, then keep it. And just remember to keep to it, because that's what's going to keep you grounded. Like I know for a fact what's coming in my future, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Like I'm going to get even bigger, but my personality, my attitude, everything is still going to be the same person you're speaking to today, and that's because I have that quote, or let's say thing on the wall that forever keeps us grounded, so that's a good thing you can just try.
Definitely. It's a really, really good tip, I think. Having that central thing you align to must keep you, as you said, keeps you grounded. That's really, really good way of putting it. That's really nice. So when did you cast your mind back? Let's turn back the clock to when it all started. Like, when did it dawn on you that you were actually starting a community? Was there like a moment in time where you were like, holy shit, like these people love me and they'll do anything I say, which of course we don't expose and take advantage of. But when was that moment for you? When did you realize that?
Do you know what it is, Liam? It still hasn't hit us. Even that moment I felt last night, having the stuff on the dashboard. It's like, I'm thinking, like, what's going on here? Is someone tricking me here, or even like sometimes when I jump on my Instagram, because my Instagram is just a holding page, so it's easier to find me little bits that I do for people, But even that sort of in 2 weeks went from 9K to 52,000. It's like it just grew so fast, and I kind of thought, so I even had two-step authentication on my phone. I'm thinking, I'm sure someone's hacked my account here, like, because it still hasn't synced in. And like I said, when I'm going into streams or stuff, it's like, oh my god, Xbox Pope. Or if I'm having like I say, Teams meetings with people over in America, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm speaking. And it's like, listen, like, I'm just a normal guy. Like,
what's amazing about that is like, we love fans as the center of what we do.
I remember you fanboying once.
Mate, all the time. Like, I can remember when you jumped into my personal stream. I can remember when you did a console for me. Like, you know, I completely nerded out. But the thing is, what's amazing, and this is the power of social media, right? For example, me seeing you on social and seeing your great work, and then seeing your great work with my brand on it, for example, that inspires me to then go out and be who I want to be in that brand. And, you know, I can't help but nerd out. Like, even when I spoke to you, what was it, on Monday to do like a quick test, I was like, holy shit, I'm on the phone with the Pope. So, you know, I think everyone has those moments. But I think that's the impression you've sort of left on people, you know, like they see you because of social media as like this higher figure, the Pope, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, it is.
I mean, obviously, I keep my sort of, you know, my DMs obviously private, but some of the things I get in there are unbelievable, you know. Going back to you're saying, you know, he is really looked up upon, you know. And sometimes I don't always have the answers, you know. But at least I know I've got good friends in the community who I can say, well, listen, like, you should speak to this person, or maybe try looking up this telephone number or things, you know. But to be fair, sometimes Pope needs a little bit of love behind the scenes, you know.
Of course.
Sometimes I need to speak to someone, because one thing, wishing that your channel grows and wishing you have the popularity is cool, but it comes with responsibilities, you know. You know, you can no longer be a troll.
Wow, come on, Pope. We know you're a troll, but I know what you mean. You're not a public troll.
The thing is, there's a line, you know. I mean, obviously, I'm a cheeky Geordie, so being up in the northeast, it's kind of bred into you, you know. But obviously, you know, there's a limit you can't go past, and I think one of the things I kind of, speaking of kind of trolls, you know, because people who are going to grow the community they're gonna experience them, like they really are, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, people see them as negative people and stuff. But one thing I learned watching some streamers is that sometimes you can maybe educate them. Maybe they don't realize what they're doing is kind of like a little bit wrong, you know. So you can, if you're trying to grow your community and you do come across these type of people, because you will do, is you can try and educate them, but you can also look at what they kind of do as part of their living. So you can look into their history, you know, and kind of go, nah, like this dude's never going to change, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, so you know, unfortunately, you have to use the mute or the block button. But so I would definitely recommend doing that, because it's okay getting lots of positive feedback, but it's not. Sometimes it's not technically negative feedback. It's just you know, it's criticism. Constructive criticism, let's say, you know, that you think, well, actually, maybe I should do that, you know, or maybe I could have done that. And you use it for your next lesson, you know.
Of course. The community always, well, most times has the answers, right? Like, we say the same thing to like some of the brands we work with, like your customers. If you listen to your customers, they'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. Like, they'll tell you why you're going wrong, what you're doing great, that type of stuff. Like you said about, like, Pope has this almost responsibility and that that extra thing people don't think about. Would you say that's like almost like a challenge you never expected to happen? Like, is that you've just been gifted this, I say gifted, you've earned this responsibility, and now people are contacting you about all sorts, how you've improved their life and how you've done all sorts for them. Like, is there any other challenges that you've sort of experienced like that?
Um, Not really. It's. Do you know what it is? It's a lot of it's common sense stuff. Really, it's just the people who are experiencing it are just temporarily blinded. That's all.
Hmm.
You know, and you've just got to kind of give them a little nudge in the right direction. Um, and I think once they're on the right path, they'll always kind of come back to you and they go, I tried that thing the other day. Oh my god, it's like amazing. You've totally changed my life. It, and it's something sometimes so basic. It's like, well, why did you not think of it yourself? Type
Hmm.
thing. But like I say, sometimes people's circumstances just force them to be like super blind.
Hmm.
Um, like I'm really rubbish at like reading and writing because I'm super dyslexic. Um, and there's loads of times I'll write a tweet and I'll go, oh my god, I can't believe I've like made so many mistakes.
Give me an edit button.
Honestly, it's supposed to be coming, I think.
Yeah, apparently so.
Um,
Apparently so.
it's so yeah, but going back to your previous question of when did it listen, I mean, it happened many years ago. It happened by some dude asking us to do a Gears of War controller, and then it escalated to two more people. It was almost like the coronavirus. It just kind of like went a bit berserk, and like I haven't found a cure for it yet.
Keep
I've even
designing.
tried to honestly, I've even tried to kill Pope off, and I says, right, that's it. He's not doing any more. I'm killing him. And honestly, I got so many messages of like, I had to kind of bring him back.
So, a
Um,
question I have, because of course you have sort of rebranded from Xbox Pope to Pope E Art or Pope Art now, or Pop E
yeah,
Art. Um, I know there was someone on Twitter a minute ago, and of course this is a fan, and we know that fans are
yeah,
passionate. Fans are passionate. He's like, "Why did you break my heart and make a PS5 console?" Like, that doesn't matter. Like, it's the designs, right? It doesn't matter what console it's
yeah.
on. It's like you're putting your love and attention into something that you want to express, right?
Going back to the whole troll thing. I mean, when I dropped that first, the Spider-Man
Hmm.
PS5, it was like, but you're called the Xbox Pope. Why are you doing PlayStation for? And it was like, oh, honestly, I got so much hate, and it did actually, it kind of like, even for someone like me who's used to it, it did mentally affect me. And I kind of had to chat to someone about it myself. Because I was thinking, God, what have I done? Have I opened a can of worms here or what? Like,
It's crazy
have I
because I
done the right
guess
thing?
people people don't think of that, do they? Like, they think, let's build a community. I know how great it's
Yeah,
going to be, but everything you then do is now under the microscope, right? People are looking at you and this type of stuff. Like, you're influencing people, and of course, all you want to do is keep doing the stuff that you love and keep the community happy. And
yeah,
actually, your community's only going to get bigger by doing that, right? Because now PS5
yeah.
fans are going to be involved and all sorts.
Well, I think I think it was a comment, and it kind of knocked us a little bit because it was like, oh, you're just doing this for like attention because now you're getting PlayStation attention. Like, like seriously, like people like will say, how come you're only at like, I don't know, 20K followers? You should be at like 100 or something,
Hmm.
And that's because I don't strive for numbers.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is I'm just doing the simplest thing is someone asks, can I have a Spider-Man on a PlayStation? Yeah, okay, cool. And I just do it. Like, and the only reason why I didn't do it sooner is because obviously I build everything in 3D first. Like, it's not photoshopped. I
Mm.
have to build a 3D model. I have to then create the textures. I have to put the textures on the 3D model. I have to render it out. I have to then put it in the Photoshop. I have to then, put some magic dust on it. Then I have to kind of like, you know, transform it into two layers. So the fact that you see the full blown version and the cropped image. Then I have to post it on Facebook. I have to post it on Instagram, and then I have to post it on Twitter. So when I'm doing 30 designs a week,
Hmm.
if not 40, I have to do that process for everything, you know. Plus, I have to do my day job. Plus, I have to do my family job. You know, like but this is on me. Like, I'm not, I'm not complaining about it because I know I can manage it. You see, if I couldn't manage it, then I would just reduce it down a bit. You know, I'd just say, no, you're only getting 5 hours a week or something. You know, but yeah, and like I say, there is no right or wrong answers in the art. You know. And even like I say, some people go, well, it's impossible to make. Listen, it's only impossible if something hasn't been done yet, you know. Like, it's my job as a creative designer. I have to break rules. So that is my job, you know. Like, when I'm up against the head of, Hugo Boss or Lacoste, when I'm designing for them, they go, "Oh well, you've broke equity guidelines." Well, I know what the equity guidelines are. I've studied them for 25 years, you know. Like, but if I don't break the rules, how do you know what the next thing isn't going to be like cool or exciting or fresh? You know,
Oh, no pun intended.
That's what it's. And it's the same with the Xbox fan art. You know, people go, well, yeah, but it's never going to get made. But who says never? You know.
Pope, you're getting people excited, I reckon, by saying stuff like that. You know, who says it ain't going to happen? You never know. It might happen one day,
eh? I mean, obviously. Listen, I mean, yeah, it's something. All I can say is something very big is going to happen, you know. But it I can speak to it on here is the fact that it probably would happen sooner. But unfortunately, in the world we live in, there's a lot of legal tape I've got to kind of go through, you know. Not only have I got to protect the brands that I'm going to work for, I've got to protect me, I've got to protect my family, I've got to protect even the people in the community, you know. Unlike some maybe people who manufacture these controllers in their bedrooms or garages or whatever they do, like, this isn't the Pope art way, you know. And going back to the 2 name scenarios, you know, I have to create a new identity because it's going to become a business. So it has to have its own separation, you know. It's the same as people don't know, you know, I designed for 65 of the biggest brands in the world, but I don't post about it because it's totally separate to what I do.
Of course. It's a different community, right? Living, like, you give your community what they want to see, not the other stuff.
So when I'm working alongside the likes of Warren Buffett, you know, the American billionaire, and, you know, and lots of other big name people, when I do the stuff for the Olympics and things, like, I don't stand there with taking selfies and then say, oh, look at who I'm working with today, you know. Like, Xbox Popes, he's a separate guy, you know. He does his thing, you know. Tom does his thing.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day. And it's the same with Pope art. When you see the stuff that's coming from there, it's going to be even different again, you know, because that's not becoming fan art anymore. That's becoming like serious, like mass-produced art. And there's different techniques that you have to kind of adapt when you're trying to sort of produce something in real life, you know. No longer can you do the crazy things, you know. You've got restrictions on your head that you have to follow, you know.
Definitely. Well, I'm conscious that we are quickly and very quickly running out of time, so we're going to just go for a couple more of the questions. And I think that I can see Gaz in a little window, and when you're talking about design and stuff, he's just all perked up and stuff. So I think we'll definitely get you back to talk about, he just did this, talk about design and brand, because I think, you know, that's another subject that I think we're very passionate about here as well. So that'd be great. So
that'd be cool.
We do something on Fresh Movement where we sort of come towards the end of our interview, and we always ask someone, our guest, who has inspired them? Like, who are you a fan of? Because what we'd love is if you're whoever you're a fan of, we would love to try and get them on the stream if they can. We can use the power of Twitter, the power of social to try and achieve that. So, who are you like a huge fan of?
Do you know what it is? I mean, I did have a think, but it's really difficult because I meet and hang around so many inspirational people. It is really hard to kind of pin someone down, because even Derek from down the road can be inspirational one day, you know. Or, you know, like I say, I do speak with Phil and stuff like that. Do I say that they're inspirational? Not really, because they're just doing their job. Do you know what I mean? And so I think, who would I say? You couldn't get this person on anyway, because it's the community that inspires me, you know. Because it has to, because I'm not Pope without the community, you know. I'm not the person who tries to help and fix things behind the scenes without the community. So to me, I can't pick one person. I don't know if you've ever had that as a response.
No, and the thing is, it's in your position. It makes
it's because I'm
sense.
community driven, you know, and that's the problem.
It's not the problem. Like, I think that's the thing, right?
What's your best fan art?
Yeah,
and it's like, well, I don't have one because I've done over 3,000 designs. You know, it's like how do you pick out of one of them? You know, it's kind of like, it's like having twins and then only picking one. You know, it's like you can't do it.
Picking your favorite child.
Exactly.
No, that's good. I think in your position that you're in, like from a community point of view, like it's such a humble way to look at it. Like, without the community, Pope doesn't exist, and you've got to be a fan of your community just as much as they're fans of you, because they both need each other to exist. So it's so true.
But I mean, you know, the streamers, they're big fans. They're my big fans sometimes, because I just think they do so much hard work for, you know, just pure entertainment, you know. I think, you know, a lot of the art that I do to hype up games, it's to say thank you to the developers, because they're all working hard to produce games for our entertainment, you know. So there's a lot of thank yous, you know, and I think I told you the other day when I lost my good friend Xbox Addict, you know, before he passed away, me and him were kind of like doing this where we did the rare controller, and like that's how we ended up being put in the game. But it wasn't about being put inside Sea of Thieves as a forever memory. It was to say thank you for all your hard work, you know. So since he passed, when you see all this fan art, it's me saying thank you, you know. That's just how I do it, you know.
That's great.
I don't know how to do it verbally.
No, you did it perfectly. You did it perfectly.
I just do it visually, because, like
good.
I say, I'm rubbish at reading and writing.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. This is completely off topic, and I hope you don't feel under pressure to answer it. We'll see what happens. But guys, hopefully you're enjoying the interview with Xbox Pope. Please make sure to go ahead and share. Like and comment, retweet. That'll be awesome. Let's get Xbox Pope's story told about how to build a community. But I want to ask a question, Pope, and this is completely off topic, and I should have messaged you this on Twitter, but I didn't.
The black ones. That's what I've got on. No. Did you want to see what I've got on? Is that what it is?
No, that's not what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if we've got a lot of fans in chat right now. A lot of people that love you, a lot of people that love your work. If we were to give you a random name of someone who shared the stream, would you be able to make some artwork for them?
Yeah.
Is that okay? I know I've just randomly asked you that.
Do you want us to add you to the list?
No, I've got mine. You've given me. Who's got the list? Well, ladies and gents, if you want to get on Xbox Pope's list and get a console delivered, make sure to share and retweet.
Thing is, so you see that list there,
Yeah.
but it does get into that list. It's just another list.
Wow.
So
it might be some time, but I know I put you under pressure to ask that question. But yeah, thank you so much.
No,
That'd be great.
you know, the thing is, you know, people think, oh, because I got a comment the other week. It was like, oh, you just ignore me because you think, and then it's not about ignoring. It's the fact that, and I kind of learned this as well. And I think if you're going to be a community person, is, you know, I used to sit there and think, well, I sent that person a message, or I sent them a tweet. Why has he not responded? But then maybe a few hours later, they have responded, and it's the fact that what people need to remember is people have actually got normal lives as
Exactly.
well outside of social media, you know. So don't get upset if someone hasn't responded to you or replied. It's just they've got a hell of a lot to go through.
It's really funny, actually, because when we put out this tweet to promote this stream, we had a guy called AZR jump in, and he said he was really looking forward to the stream, and we were asking for questions to ask you. And he said, can you ask Xbox Pope if he'd be my dad? And I replied going, I will most certainly ask. And he actually come back and said, wow, I actually didn't think anyone would reply to that. So I don't know if you could adopt him. I've asked the question. He's happy. We've done the job.
I don't know. I better ask the boss that one.
Yeah. Can we have another child?
Everything goes past the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
I learned that one as well a long time ago.
That's an early lesson to learn. No doubt about that. Well, Pope, thank you so much for your time. Please stick around for a couple more minutes while we wrap the stream up, because I think Gaz will most certainly want to have a chat with you, because I know you two haven't had a real chat yet, because he's going to design Nerd Out, no doubt. So thank you so much for jumping in to join us. Thank you for sharing all of your stuff on community, and we shall speak very soon.
Yeah, and just remember, you know, my DMs are kind of open, or if they're not, just messages, you know, and I'll try and get back to you.
No, that's great. Well, thanks, Pope. We'll wrap up the stream quickly, then we'll chat with you in just a sec, all right? But thank you so much.
Yes, bye.
Oh, well, I'm pressing the wrong button. There we go. Whoa. Gaz, I think you're on mute.
No,
there you are.
No, what a stream. I've enjoyed my beer. I have listened and got involved with the guys in chat, and it's just been really good. There's been so many comments come in and so much appreciation for Pope, which, you know, is going to happen. And I wholeheartedly agree with pretty much every single subject and comment that he made there. So much to consider, so much to talk about. And I know, like, if we can do this again, we can do. You got that signed off, didn't you, Liam? We got that signed off.
We've got Pope for a second time. No problem.
Yeah. So when he comes back, I think, we need to go into the design bit, because there were moments and I was just itching. Obviously, you can see me, and I was replying to the comments, but there's so much that we can talk about. The bits around wearing different hats for different projects, 100% get that. And to be fair, even if you're not a designer and we've been talking about this in business, haven't we, recently? We've been speaking to one of our mentors who's been like, you need to wear different hats in different scenarios. Like the Liam that goes in front of an audience and presents is not the same Liam who negotiates a sales deal. And it's been a big learning for us this week. So to hear that echo as well from Pope as well, it's just, that's hit me this week. I think that's one of my key takeaways. And the other comment as well around working hard and staying humble. That's like AJ. Like AJ, the boxer, talks about that. Do you know what I mean? So he's a heavyweight. Pope was a heavyweight contender, mate, and I really enjoyed the stream.
That's good to hear. That's good. I think everyone in chat's going Pope Part 2. Coming to a theatre soon. I think we'll be getting Xbox Pope back for season 2 of Fresh Fridays, no doubt about that.
hope so. So yeah, thanks for joining, Pope. I know we'll catch up shortly, but yeah,
Yeah.
really appreciate it. And the guys did too. So there's so many people on Twitter. So I was jumping back and forth between the chats. There was a lot of people in on Twitter. So thank you for everyone on Twitter for watching, because it's not our most popular channel for live streaming, but there was so many people. And I think that's down to the community which Pope has fostered over these years, by
Definitely.
touching so many people's hearts with his fresh designs, his beautiful concepts.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we need to conclude. What an epic way to end a Fresh Friday and into the weekend. So thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. It's been great to have you here. And remember, share the stream and you might be lucky to get a design from Xbox Pope. How cool would that be?
Yeah, even if you're watching this back on replay, you still have a chance. So
Yeah.
if you watched it live, you have a chance. But also if you're watching this back, you still have a chance. And we'll draw this next week.
Definitely. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we shall see you next week for another Fresh Friday. Stay fresh.